What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's happening here in our country on a daily basis. We got some big news here. Russian President Vladimir Putin orders some Russian military ships to the United States with hypersonic missiles. We'll give you the details here on that. Also, some big news here today that a judge orders the video of the attack on Paul Pelosi to be released. Details on this say a San Francisco Superior Court Judge Stephen Murphy ruled Wednesday that the evidence against the alleged attacker, David DePape, should be publicly released. Let me know your thoughts on this. Siding with the outlets in ruling that it should be available to the public. NBC News reported that the evidence set to be released includes body camera footage that was captured by the officers who responded to the attack by the Pelosi's address, the 911 call that Paul Pelosi made, parts of an interview that the police had with David DePape, and the security video of the break-in that the Capitol Police recorded. The San Francisco District Attorney Office, however, had argued in court that publishing the video would distort the facts of the case, and the office and David DePape's defense team both argued it could irreparably harm his right to a fair trial, the outlets reported. But Murphy noted in his ruling that the footage was already played at a preliminary hearing last month. Attorney Thomas Burke, who represented the organizations suing for disclosure. The evidence could be released as soon as Thursday. Prosecutors alleged that David DePape broke into the Pelosi's home in October looking for then Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who was not at home during the time. DePape allegedly asked, "Where's Nancy?" to Paul Pelosi after he broke in. DePape allegedly struck Paul Pelosi with a hammer, severely injuring him. Paul Pelosi needed to receive surgery for a skull fracture afterwards and also received injuries to his arm and hand. The National Archives is now asking all past presidents who are alive and vice presidents to look for more classified items or any classified items that they may have as well. Yeah, that's right. This comes after now former President Donald Trump, former Vice President Mike Pence, and current President Biden, who, when he was the vice president and when he was a senator, had classified documents. Yeah, so this is a kind of big deal. This also makes you wonder what past senators and past House representatives had classified documents, because senators and House of Representatives do get classified information when they're on committees. They do get classified when they're on intelligence committees and things like that. They do get classified documents. So it also makes you kind of wonder what current senators or current House representatives might have classified documents at their homes, even though they might be a current senator or current representative, which might not be that egregious of an offense, even though they're in office right now, but might have it at their homes. So, you know, it's a little bit of a gray area there, you know. So, like, for example, President Biden, it really wouldn't be an offense there because he's the president and would have access to all this stuff. The reason why President Biden is an issue there, because these were past documents when he was vice president and senator, and there was a lapse of time there when he should have given them back. So that was the issue there. He should have given them back from when he left office and was not vice president, was not senator, and before he was president. So now that he's president, he technically would have access to them, but he should have given them back. So there's the kind of issue there. Yeah, same thing with, so a lot of people are confused here. Vice presidents do have access to classified documents. Senators do have access to classified documents, certain classified documents that they're given to on a daily basis. Senators and House of Representatives, they get access to classified documents on a daily basis, depending on which committees they're on and what they're getting access to. Okay. Don't get this confused with declassifying documents. There was a executive order in 2009 by Obama, which actually did make it so that vice presidents could declassify documents. Yes, that is true. However, there was a process to declassify documents. So, just like former President Donald Trump said that he could simply declassify documents by simply thinking about them, that is not the case. Same thing with a vice president, whether it's Pence or former Vice President Biden when he was a vice president. You can't simply think about declassifying a document, whether you were a vice president or a former president. There's a process you have to go through. So, yes, there was a former 2009 executive order that said, yes, vice presidents could declassify documents, but that doesn't mean you could simply think about that and do it. There was a formal process, written process that you have to do it. That probably wasn't done by Pence or Biden. And same thing with former President Donald Trump. You can't just take a whole bunch of documents and say, poof, they're declassified. So probably wasn't done by any of the three of them. And now the National Archives is asking other vice presidents and presidents who are still alive, check your files. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if other presidents who are alive, maybe the Bushes, maybe Obama, and maybe other vice presidents who are alive, to see if they also get searched by the FBI or raided, as a lot of people like to say, by the FBI. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens here soon. Just let me know your thoughts here. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of senators and congressmen have classified documents that they shouldn't have. Yeah, so, yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. It's probably a lot more common than we think. Next up, you can see here big news here. Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered Russian warships with hypersonic Zircon missiles on drills in the Atlantic. Multiple articles here. Russian warships simulates hypersonic missile strikes in the Atlantic Ocean. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the development of hypersonic missiles back in 2009. You can see these warships here. Hypersonic missiles are the fastest missiles in the world, and they travel basically at thousands of miles per hour and are extremely fast. You can see here basically on every news source here yesterday and today, Russian warship armed with hypersonic missiles to train with Chinese and South African navies. Yeah, so this is a pretty serious stuff here. And they were actually seen off the coast of Hawaii here recently and had to be, quote, chased off. So, yeah, Russian warship armed with hypersonic missile to train with Chinese. That is not something Americans want to hear. And, well, it's not really something that's a good sign either. Yeah, you can see here a Russian warship armed with advanced hypersonic missiles completed a drill in the Atlantic Ocean ahead of joint naval exercises with the Chinese and South African navies scheduled for next month. The Russian Defense Ministry said here on Wednesday. Russia's Admiral Gorshkov frigate, armed with Zircon hypersonic missiles, practiced, quote, delivering a missile strike against an enemy surface target. The ship's commander, Igor Krokmal, said in a video released by the ministry. The exercise, described by state news agency TASS as an electronic launch or virtual simulation, confirmed the design characteristics of the missile system, said who pointed to the missile's purported ability to reach distances of more than 900 kilometers. The White House on Monday said the U.S. has concerns about any country exercising with Russia while Russia wages a brutal war against Ukraine. U.S. Coast Guard says this ship off of Hawaii coast is a Russian spy ship. The U.S. has repeatedly warned Beijing, which has a close strategic partnership with Moscow, against providing material support to the Russian army in its war in Ukraine. The Biden administration recently raised concerns with China about its evidence it has supporting that Chinese companies has sold non-lethal equipment to Russia for use in Ukraine, though it was not clear whether Beijing was aware of the purported transactions. However, Russia warns back that it's a blatant provocation. Russia warns of the devastation if U.S. supplies the M1 Abrams battle tanks to Ukraine, which President Biden has confirmed we will be providing to Ukraine. So Russia warns that there will be dire consequences. And here is what Ukrainian President Zelensky has to say. Take a listen to this.
The war started by Russia does not allow delays. And I can thank you hundreds of times. And it will be absolutely just and fair given all that we have already done. But hundreds of thank you are not hundreds of thanks. I'm truly grateful to all of you for the weapons you have provided. Every unit helps to save our people from terror, but time remains a Russian weapon. We have to speed up. Time must become our common weapon. Just like air defense and artillery, armored vehicles and tanks, which we are negotiating about with you, it is in your power to guarantee such artillery and anti-aircraft defense that will crush terror. It is in your power to make the victory. It is about people who believe that evil and hatred will always lose. The Kremlin must lose.
So let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below if you haven't yet so you don't miss out on new videos here going on in our country on a daily basis. Click the bell icon after you subscribe, and also thanks for hitting the like button for us if you appreciate these videos. Here's some videos you can watch next. Here's a video about major news about Social Security and SNAP benefits. And here is a new video about $2,000 checks going out here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.